will be videos in today's webinar. Please go to your control panel and select View in Full Screen mode. It makes it a little bit easier to watch these videos. Keep in mind, if any of your questions weren't answered during the time allowed at the end of the broadcast, please email those questions directly to vbr@volusia.org and we will respond to them. Each day's presentations will be recorded and uploaded to volusiabusinessresources.com, so you can look over them there if you didn't get to see something that you wanted to see. Now that the housekeeping has been completed, I'd like to introduce you to our first presenter. His name is Brad Harris, and he is the Volusia County, I should have introduced myself. Hi, I'm Katrina Friel. I am a business specialist here at Volusia County Economic Development, and we are your hosts for today. With that being said, Brad Harris, he is a Volusia County business manager, and he is going to explain the development and the mission of VBR, Volusia Business Resources. Brad?
Thank you, Katrina. Welcome, and thank you for joining us today as we celebrate Volusia Business Resources Week. I have the privilege of kicking off today's Lunch and Learn session, the second in a series of 5 that are being held to introduce many of the business servicing organizations that can be found under the Volusia Business Resources banner. In today's session, we'll hear from many of Volusia County's municipal economic development offices. But before we start, let me address 2 questions that you may have as we begin. First, what is Volusia Business Resources, or VBR as you're going to hear us refer to it? The answer to that question will become evident as this day's session goes on, and if you join us through the week as the week progresses. But to get you started, let me mention 4 facets of VBR that you should understand. First of all, VBR is a brand. It's a brand that will help elevate and expand the awareness of the many business resources that we have here in our community. Second, VBR is a comprehensive business website. I'll say business assistance website. And you're going to learn more about that in just a few minutes. Thirdly, VBR is also a community-wide partnership that explores and develops new programs and resources to help innovators, entrepreneurs, and our businesses. And then fourth, I use the word listening conduit. It's where the voice of small business is heard. It's then consolidated, acted upon, and all of this is done to benefit our whole community. So those 4 things, it's the brand, it's the website, it's the community-wide partnership, and it's that listening conduit. The second question is this: how did VBR start? Well, it started with candid conversation between a small number of businesses and local business servicing organizations. And by 2021, those conversations had led to a countywide business survey. Then, with the survey input in hand, an affiliation of community partners joined together to begin addressing the needs and concerns that were shared in that survey. In short, VBR started by getting unfiltered communication from a large number of businesses into the hands of the local business servicing organizations that you're going to begin to meet today. So much has been accomplished because of a good response to that 2021 survey. And it's our hope that as distribution of the 2022 annual business survey begins this week, once again, you'll respond and help us. So with that as a brief introduction, let me go ahead and turn it back to Katrina. So Katrina, it's yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Brad. I'm going to go ahead and take a minute now to share the VBR website with our audience here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and roll the video. Welcome to VolusiaBusinessResources.com, a one-stop portal to help entrepreneurs and business owners navigate the resources needed to help propel their success. Once you've opened your browser, type VolusiaBusinessResources.com in the URL address bar. When you first open the site, you will be presented with an option to provide feedback through our survey. The survey will be updated with new questions regularly.
Respondents' feedback to the survey helps us to develop relative new programs. It's not necessary that you take the survey to access the site, but we would appreciate it if you did. Let's check out the About tab to learn what VBR does, and how we do it. You can access the Resource Navigator, the Resource Calendar, and the Business Guides by clicking on the title of each on this page or by scrolling back up to the navigation bar. The Resource Navigator allows you, the user, to sort applicable resources housed in the resource directory based on your company's stage of growth and by area of need. This streamlines your search process by not overwhelming you with results that you're not looking for. The Navigator does that for you. For example, if your business is in the growth phase of development and you've expanded beyond your current footprint, you might be looking for employees, workforce, and a new larger facility. Once you hit the Submit button, you'll be presented with resources that can help you with your needs and contact information at those resource providers' organizations. Let's take a look at the resource calendar. The resource calendar lists events, classes, and webinars that provide opportunities for you to further expand your business knowledge and to network your business. Many of the programs you find on the calendar are free, but not all are. To use the calendar, simply click on the Select an Event category button, and the calendar will sort by the subject that you're looking for. The calendar offers multiple view options by month, by week, by day, by calendar view, or by list view. The VBR team continues to develop and expand our list of business guides. These guides provide step-by-step instructions on different subjects important to business owners while trying to establish or grow their businesses. If you haven't found what you're looking for on VolusiaBusinessResources.com, you can always contact us directly. You'll find links to the contact page and the survey throughout the site. If you'd like to receive the most recent economic development news, there's an option for you to add your contact information to our mailing list. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about the VBR website. The VBR team continues to develop new programs. Please don't forget to sign up for the newsletter to learn more.
Thank you. I understand we had a little bit of technical difficulties with that presentation. If you want to view that video, you can go to VolusiaBusinessResources.com to the About page, and the video is housed there. We will get this down eventually. Our next presenter, I'm very happy to present and introduce, is Becky Mendez. And Becky is the, oh gosh, she's got such a long title. Becky is the city development director, but I know that she just does 100 things. So with that said, let's go ahead and bring up her presentation. And it wants to be obstinate. I am sorry. That's okay. There's more than one way to skin this cat.
That's why I had you do it, Katrina.
It's her fault. It's Katrina's fault. Okay, I got this. We are just about there, friends. Thank you for your patience. And we are all systems go. Go ahead, Becky. It's all you.
There you go. Welcome, everybody. This is unique and different, and I think it's great that we get together and can present something. So thank you, Katrina and Brad and everybody at Volusia County Economic Development Team. Great job. This is super cool as far as I'm concerned. Next slide, please. So we were asked, the team asked us to put together a presentation and make it as short and sweet as I can. And our mission, one of the things we wanted to talk about was the Orange City's mission, which is to enhance the quality of life of the city's current and future residents and businesses by ensuring economic vitality, sustainability, design excellence, and quality development through the application of planning principles and services that incorporate the highest ethical and professional standards with respect for our customers and the public. And then how do we do that? How do we implement it, right? Next slide, please. We do this through a number of ways. We look at our current and existing businesses and how we can support them. For about the last 10 years, City Council first adopted an agreement with the DeLand Chamber Orange City Alliance, and they are responsible for all of our business retention surveys and program. And we felt it was important for the chamber to do that as a third party because we wanted the businesses, we wanted the good and the bad and the ugly, right? From our existing business community, what the city was doing well, how we could support them better, and any improvements that we needed to be aware of. And we felt that they would, the businesses would be more forthcoming, right, if it was done by a third party. That's why we contract. So we perform the BRE program, does about 75 face-to-face business surveys each year. And we take that information and we've used it to make a number of zoning code amendment requests. Primarily, the biggest one, I think, was the manufacturing uses. Most of our manufacturing and industrial breweries, for instance, were considered manufacturing and they weren't allowed in our commercial districts. So we really opened up those opportunities for flex warehouse and businesses of that nature to be located not just in an industrial zoning classification. Also, our sign code, it was very restrictive, small signs. We went through a billboard amortization. A lot of those signs came down. The new signs coming up were very small. And we heard from the business community that they were definitely not happy about that. So in 2018, we revamped our entire sign code. We also have, for new businesses or expanding businesses, we do have an expedited permitting process. It can be complicated sometimes through zoning and the building permit, and we try to expedite those along as quickly as possible. Orange City does have our own police department and fire, and we have quite a number of outreach. Again, through these BRE surveys with our businesses, there were a lot of issues, law enforcement issues that came up, and we're able to respond almost immediately to those concerns. Orange City does have a community redevelopment agency along the 1792 corridor, and part of that is funding a facade improvement grant. I know a lot of our other cities have that as well in their downtown areas. The City Council also designated a large portion of the 1792 corridor and out where Gelcor is as a brownfield designation, and that really just is another tool in the toolbox for businesses that want to expand or relocate to have accessibility for funding at a state level. Next slide, please. And then what the city does is important to the business community, and we make municipal investments based on the needs of our business community as well as our residents as well. They really need to work hand in hand. Septic to sewer, we're extending, making a large investment into providing that utility service available to encourage redevelopment of our 1792 corridor. Again, our CRA is funding right now industrial drive rehabilitation with utilities and stormwater. It's where a lot of our local industrial and manufacturing uses, and during Hurricane Ian, we had a significant amount of flooding as well as a lot of the cities in Volusia County, but we were already looking towards that issue, and we're in design, and we're going to fix that issue for the next time around. Water quality is primarily a residential concern, but it also is a concern for our local restaurants and businesses, and extensive, again, funding for our water quality. Roadways are always a concern, and we're in the process of design and construction for a number of improvements. Recreation, while it isn't necessarily it is an economic development tool, in my opinion. And the Manatee Festival is not within our city limits, but it's on our city park and creates a lot of tourism that comes into the area that people might not otherwise know Volusia County or the Orange City area. So we're really focused, the city council is very focused on our having a vibrant recreation program. I hope I stayed over under 4 minutes, and that is all I have. And we will be here towards the end if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Becky. That was fantastic. Really appreciated that. Thank you for being here too. Our next panelist, Jeff Brown, is the Economic and Strategic Opportunities Director from the City of Daytona Beach. And Jeff, the floor is now yours.
Can you see that? Can you see my presentation there?
Yes, we can see it. We can see it.
All right. So the mission of the Economic Development and Strategic Opportunities Division is to retain, expand, and attract industries, companies, and businesses which provide high-paying jobs with benefits for residents and would create opportunities for business spinoffs and expansions. The city targets these industries here: telecommunications, clean manufacturing, medical, boating and marine related industries, automotive and speed related industries, and sports. The way we do that are through a couple of mechanisms. The first being a tax abatement program. We have a tax abatement program that we rebate ad valorem taxes to individuals and businesses that want to participate in this program. It's primarily used for job creation. However, the city has used the program to incentivize affordable housing and workforce housing. The rebate for job creation is dependent upon the value of the capital costs of the projects and the salaries of the future employees. So what the city looks for are large capital investment in structures and in infrastructure, and then the salaries of the employees have to meet at least the minimum average income of the city. The abatements work on a sliding scale depending upon how big of a capital investment and how large the salaries are for the employees, but can last up to 5 years. The other thing we do, which I find really helpful for our new businesses in particular, is our technical review team. It is a team made up of representatives from all the different departments that deal with development. And it is a virtual meeting that staff and the developer discuss the project. The applicant then gets all the information they need and knows what steps need to be taken in the future. The meeting is recorded and made available to the applicant as well, so you may not catch something during the initial part of the discussion. You can catch that up later and exactly what was said. And Hannah Ward, our senior planner, is our staff contact there, and she does a great job of scheduling that. Every Tuesday morning from about 9 to noon we meet. The other thing that we do here is we assist businesses that are interacting with staff. And one situation we had come in was, as all of our land development codes are usually several years old, and there's new industries and businesses that have been created that don't fit really well into a land development code that may be 10, 15 years old. So one of the things that we do is we interact with staff and try to find a way to fit the new business into our existing code. The one we had just recently was dealing with e-bikes and not looking at them as a bike shop seller, but more of a vehicle sales. And the last thing I want to touch on is our community redevelopment districts. The city has 5 of them. Ken Thomas is the director of this department, and in all of these areas that you see highlighted, there are potential funding for businesses and assistance for businesses being located in those areas. In particular, the Midtown redevelopment area, the City Commission has also waived impact fees in that area. And that completes my presentation. Hopefully I was under 4 minutes.
Thank you, Jeff. Really appreciate that. Those designations, those special designations for properties and businesses are very important, the CRAs, and thank you for touching upon that. We are going to go ahead and move on to and welcome our next panelist from the City of Holly Hill, Economic Development Manager and CRA Coordinator, John Cox. And John,
yes.
Hi, I'm going to go ahead and put your presentation up. And there it is. And you can go ahead and just tell me when you want me to click through.
All right, thank you so much. Holly Hill is thrilled to be part of this series, learning what's going on in the region with respect to economic development and job creation. If you haven't had the chance to get out to Holly Hill, I hope that you will. You'll find that it is a beautiful city that's doing a lot of good things, that's done a lot of good things. You know, it was incorporated in 1901 on the banks of the Halifax River, starting with a population of about 50. And today the population is in excess of 13,000 folks. We are conveniently situated between Ormond Beach and Daytona Beach. So that kind of gives you an idea of the drive time area, workforce area, skills area, and availability of good businesses. And I think the key thing that we'd like to say is that Holly Hill is clearly open for business. One of the most exciting things that's taking place right now is, maybe you've heard of it, Pictona. Pictona is rapidly becoming, I say, the pickleball capital of the world. We just opened Pictona 2. We now have 49 pickleball courts, many of them under roof. We just had a competition here a week ago. 1,050 folks participated in that competition, and we have more coming later this year and early next year. So if you want to know more about the pickleball buzz, you're going to want to come to Holly Hill. Stephen Colbert is doing a special on CBS in November about pickleball. I hope he mentions us. I don't know if he will or not. Well, you can see on our first slide, we had that the QR code. We are supporting, and we are being supported by the Volusia Business Resources, and we're so grateful for that resource. We're also located on US 1, which takes up a lot of space in this area of Florida, but also on LPGA. That's kind of the key intersection for us. Again, it's one of the most famous streets in the United States, certainly, if you know anything about golf. But it is 4 miles from I-95 to the Halifax River on LPGA, and that's what Holly Hill is about. We're seeing about 130 to 140 folks come online. This is our mobile app. We are finding that most people are accessing our information on a handheld device, cell phone, something like that. So we've just put a few things up there. You see the Marina Grand. It's a beautiful place. It's a luxury place, and it's a great opportunity for new business. And we're seeing some new businesses develop right there. It's a great condo, high-end luxury place. A guy named Keith Norton lives there. You may know him, fine guy. We've also got information about demographics, about Daytona, about construction. So those are the kind of resources that we make available on the local level. And you can go to the next slide now. We're working with businesses in a variety of ways, and the city has for a long, long time. You know, we're very interested in these 5 areas. One of the things that we are known for, we're known by the company that we keep. That speaks to the issue of retention. And expansion is the next thing. If we can keep them, we want them to expand. Attraction, bringing them in, providing business assistance, and developing our workforce. Last slide for me, please. Next slide, there you go. So we've just recruited a new company called Lobo Lures. They have 4 employees. We've just opened a new restaurant called Maharaja. Great Indian cuisine. If you haven't had the chance to come out and enjoy it, please do. We have a lot of partners that help make Holly Hill an economic development success. Come see us. That's it.
Fantastic. Thanks, John. Really appreciate that. Our next presenter is going to be Terrilyn Bostwick. And Terrilyn has a video that she would like to share with us. I am going to pull that up here quickly. And Terrilyn, would you like to say a few things before we start sharing?
Sure. Thank you, Katrina. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us on day 2 of Volusia Business Resources Week. My name is Terrilyn Bostwick. I'm with the city of Deltona. And the video that Katrina's queuing up is just going to give a broad overview of what we do here in our Office of Economic Development, and then speak a little bit to what we're going to be doing in response to providing resources to the business community here in Deltona. So again, thank you for joining us, and hope you enjoy the video. Economic Development Assistant Manager for the City of Deltona. On behalf of everyone here at City Hall, the Office of Economic Development welcomes you to Volusia Business Resources Week. So what exactly does the Office of Economic Development do? Well, we implement a variety of programs and activities that are in alignment with our Economic Development Strategic Plan. That includes working with businesses to expand or remain within the city of Deltona. We also work with our partners to attract corporations and smaller businesses alike to relocate here to the city of Deltona. We also work with developers with development and site plan review, and also provide assistance on the economic development side when appropriate to help them to establish business and activity here in the city. We also manage the Southwest Deltona Community Redevelopment Plan. And finally, we spend a lot of time and energy on marketing initiatives to promote how great of a place Deltona is to live, work, and play. To learn a little bit more about our community, you can visit DeltonaMeansBusiness.com, our FloridaEcoParks.com website, and also My Deltona magazine. We have a few events that we're hoping to host each quarter in 2023, with the first being a workshop. Our first workshop is going to highlight what you need to do to get started with a business. And it's going to be called So You Want to Start a Business. Our second workshop is for businesses that are established or entrepreneurs that have their business going and they need access to finances or financial resources and they want to expand their business. So our second workshop is going to speak to small business finances. The third activity we have planned is a B2B networking event. So we're going to invite all businesses here in Deltona that would like to come, in particular our entrepreneurs and small businesses. And we're going to gather and they're going to share about their products and services, create a sense of community in the business community. And we're also going to invite our economic development partners so that they can share about the resources that they have to offer for the businesses. And then finally, we plan to host an event here at City Hall for those that would like to do business in or business with the city of Deltona. So those individuals can learn about what they need to do business here and with the city. So it's going to be an exciting 2023. We look forward to working with you to help meet your business goals. If you'd like more information about the City of Deltona Office of Economic Development, visit our website at deltonameansbusiness.com, or you can give us a call at 386-878-8100. Thank you.
All right, Terrilyn, we're going to talk later about how many takes that took and how you did that, and you were so cool the whole time. In case we didn't get Terrilyn's title, I know I failed to state it, and then the video started a little bit later. Terrilyn Bostwick works for the City of Deltona. She is the Senior Operations and Project Leader in Economic Community Development. Terrilyn, thank you so much. That was wonderful. Next up, we're going to welcome Community Development Director Tim Burman from the City of Port Orange. I think that you should have control of the screen now, Tim.
Hey, can you see my slide?
We can, looks good.
All right, again, my name is Tim Burman. I'm with the City of Port Orange. Just a little bit of a location where Port Orange is. We're on the east side of Volusia County, just between Daytona Beach and New Smyrna Beach. We have a population about 64,000 people. We have access not only to I-95, but also to I-4. We also have access to the Halifax River, then, which makes us available for businesses looking for transportation needs, but also to businesses and industry looking for basically access to the water, along with providing that access to our residents. Our mission statement pretty much is similar to a lot of the other cities. It's really to promote and assist in the retention and expansion of existing businesses in Port Orange, attract new development, and also try to encourage employment opportunities for residents of Port Orange and the surrounding areas. To do that, we do a couple different aspects. One is maintaining partnerships with groups such as Volusia County Economic Development, Team Volusia, and our local chamber. These groups provide us leads on possible new businesses looking into the city of Port Orange and how we can assist them that way. They also provide us with input from existing businesses that may be looking to expand or maybe having problems with basically permitting questions and stuff like that, don't want to come to the city, but they come to those groups and they're able to provide that information, so we are able to reach out and help them. So maintaining these partnerships, we feel, is great for economic development. Sorry, my presentation just kind of went away there. Next is the what we offer is citywide targeted business program. This is basically mainly to attract value-added jobs such as medical, clean manufacturing, marina-based, water-related jobs, also entertainment uses. Then we have a lot of different aspects that we can provide to them, from waiver of fees to expedited review process, also to impact fee credits. Then I think one of the things that we here have in terms of the plan review, the expedited review, is that community development houses not only the site plan review side of the house, but also the building side. So we kind of see the project from the pre-application stage all the way through to the final inspection stage. and it's really controlled mainly by one department. So we have a good pulse on a project and know when to work with people. We have two key areas within here, the community redevelopment agencies, Eastport, which is more of our industrial area. We offer in that area grants to assist in architectural design, landscaping, and engineering support to attract businesses in there. And then our other CRA is the Riverwalk CRA that is located along the Halifax River. We do provide financing for public improvements that are put in there. It's a TIF financing, which we are allowed to, if public improvements are made there, we can pay back a developer over the course of the CRA for those public improvements such as sidewalks, landscaping, improved architecture, etc. And then we do have another targeted program which we just established a few years ago. This was basically along Ridgewood Avenue. This is one of our older corridors and was more of the neglected corridor for a time being. So we created a program to try to attract new businesses, ones that are trying to get started in Port Orange here and locating on the corridor. So similar to the citywide ones, we have basically the fee waivers, expedited review, but we also have is more of a flexible sign requirements and more of a flexible design requirements there. Instead of having to do all the necessary site improvements for a business to establish in there, they can move in with just having to do the necessary building and the ADA requirements. This does not require them to do parking lot improvements, landscaping, saves them a lot of upfront costs in terms of the site, which they can put into the building or renovating that building for that use that they want. And we've had a number of businesses that have moved in using this program. And over the course of time, we've seen them improve the exterior of the business. Some have basically grown and expanded elsewhere in Port Orange. And so we see this as a positive program then. From the city standpoint, we do investment here, which we basically feel will better our community and our businesses, ranging from infrastructure, from water and sewer projects, also to parks and recreation, and of course aesthetics too, from landscaping major median corridors and keeping upkeep with that. That way, when you come to the city, it is a attractive city and kind of, you know, once a business to be in this area. So we feel that these, along with a number of other things, allow us to promote a working relationship between the city and the business community. Also establish that partnership with the city and business, and provide and encourage development or redevelopment within Port Orange. And that is in my presentation.
You know, Tim, having all those services in one department is such an invaluable asset. I don't think people realize, because speed to completion for a business project is such a critical factor for these businesses, because the longer it takes, the more money they're losing. So that really is a fantastic program you have.
So much fun
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. It was wonderful. Next up, we have from the city of Edgewater, joining us is the Director of Parks and Recreation. And that is just a simplified title, because I will tell you that Sam Bergeron does it all. She really does do it all. So let me go ahead and take control over here. I am going to control the presentation, and she is going to walk me through it. We ready to go, Sam?
We are. We're ready and rock and roll.
All right. Can you see your presentation?
I can. Thank you so much.
All right. Just tell me when.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. The mission of City of Edgewater Economic Development Department is really just to assist all of our existing businesses to be successful and to help them expand. We have a wonderful amount of home-based businesses in Edgewater, and so our goal is really to help them to become a bricks and mortar business. And we're also working hard with our 3 cities together, New Smyrna Beach, Edgewater, Oak Hill, to recruit the right type of clean industry manufacturers so that we can try to create more high-paying, value-added jobs. But also with the hat of economic development and parks and rec, we want to try to balance that with balancing our environmental protection so that we ensure that all of our businesses are more sustainable and more resilient towards future downturns in the economy. The last couple of years, we know, has been really rough on a lot of our businesses. And, you know, how do we do that? We do that by partnerships. We believe in partnerships. We partner a lot with not only the Volusia County Economic Development Department, but our local Chamber of Commerce, the Southeast Volusia Business Manufacturing and Technology Coalition, Team Volusia, CEO Business Alliance, Career Source, our many educational and institutions here in the county. We've had some great success with that. The 3 cities just passed our commercial space industry overlay opportunity districts, and that's basically a land use designation and our future land use. We're working on our Southeast Volusia Regional Economic Development Strategic Plan that we're getting ready to pass with all 3 cities, councils, and commissions, as well as we have a Southeast Volusia Corridor Improvement Coalition, which is our brownfields assessment program. So doing a lot in the city. Next slide. In the city, we also have some individual incentives and programs. The city of Edgewater is also an opportunity zone. Katrina, if you could go to the next slide, pretty please. That's okay, I'm going to keep rolling. And basically what that means is that if an investor invests in a project in our opportunity zone, which is basically the spine of US 1, they could take those proceeds and profits and basically invest those dollars into a protected opportunity fund, a designated opportunity fund, and that way they could put off their tax payments basically on that for up to 10 years. So there's more information on that if you're looking to how to do that. We also passed a few years ago a tax abatement. So for those targeted industries, and if you're creating a minimum of 10 jobs, there is a really great tax abatement. And again, this is a partnership with the county as well as the state. So it's a great program. Next slide. We also, in 2015, were able to establish our Edgewater Community Redevelopment Area, which is our US 1 corridor, and it's from the city limits there at New Smyrna Beach all the way down to Falcon Avenue. And we do have, the next slide, we do have some facade grants. Those are 50-50 matching grants. We have a small program, which is up to $5,000, as well as a medium-sized program up to $25,000. And those would help pay for things like new signage. We're trying to get rid of our pole signs and bring them down to the monument signs, landscaping, any exterior improvements, new windows, doors, awnings, and those kinds of expenditures and work. And the next slide, we also have technical review committee, which is part of our business assistance services. These are free meetings that we avail to any developer or any business coming in, and you get everyone at the table. So we have all of our department heads. We have development services, the planning department, the fire chief, we have the police chief, we have water and sewer, all of our public works, a city manager, and everybody at the table. It's a free meeting. We can talk about whatever your plans might be. So maybe a prospect comes in and he has a drawn sketch on a napkin, and we help them drive them what they need to do, how they need to have their site plan, all the steps that are related to getting their project from start all the way to finish and being occupied. So it's a great program that a lot of people take advantage of. And the next slide just has my contact information. If anyone's looking for information and needs some assistance and some guidance, we are happy to help, and Edgewater is open for business. Thank you.
All right, what some people don't know about Samantha is that she has another career in hip hop. She's a rapper. With that kind of speed, I'll tell you what, if people did not get to see some of these presentations, they will be hosted on VolusiaBusinessResources.com. We are running a little bit later. If you can stay with us, please stay with us because there is valuable information still to come. Our next presenter is going to be Rochelle Greiner. And I hope I said that correctly. Rochelle is the Director of Community Engagement and Communication from the City of Debary. Rochelle is going to be sharing a video. Rochelle, you want to tell us a little bit about your video?
Sure. Yes, thanks for that introduction. Debary is one of the smaller cities on Volusia's west side. We are about to actually kick off our 30-year anniversary, so that's exciting for us. We currently have a large base of smaller home-based businesses, but we are truly on the cusp of some pretty big projects, and you'll see in our video some things that we have coming to town. Like other cities, we do have a very engaged growth management area that work with our businesses from the inception all the way through to the end to ensure their success. But today I'm just going to show you a really short video of some of our smaller businesses and why they love to do business in Debary. Thanks.
All right, and away we go.
Saludos, mi nombre es Rochelle, que soy la dueña, ¿verdad? De aquí de Roxy Cake Supplies and More. Hi, my name is Rosie Bell. I'm the owner of Roxy Cake Supplies and More. And what made me open my store was the necessity of the bakers for having a baking supply store in the area.
Having Bright Beginnings of Deltona in Debary is very impactful for us because we chose the location due to community involvement with other businesses, with families in the area. We've had great success with clientele that we have here with keeping retention, just providing a quality education program to Debary.
Since we opened our doors 5 months ago, we have learned a lot, and we have felt the care from the city and the community. Debary gave me the tools I needed as a business owner. The city employees were very helpful and very attentive to my needs.
The City of Debary, they give back to us by allowing us to have representation in the community. When we have Community Helper Week here at the school, we contact the fire department, the police station, and we just love that great little homey feel that we have here, in Debary.
The reason I chose Debary as my city to open in my store is because I have seen the growth in the city. You see a city that it has developed a lot that will help your store or your business to grow.
A lot of the business that we receive is word of mouth. These relationships with, our businesses in our community, it builds even more business for us. During the pandemic, a lot of our families were essential workers too. Our business didn't move anywhere else or go anywhere else or even close down during the pandemic. A lot of them live in Deltona but work in Debary. So it was something that was one less thing to worry about during a very trying time for everybody.
Hello, I'm Karen Chazet, the mayor of Debary. Debary is a wonderful place to live, work, and play. Debary feels like a small town community in an urban setting with an ecotourism lifestyle. Debary's 23,000 residents shop locally and support our business community. Our city celebrates the lowest ad valorem taxes and lowest crime rate in Volusia County. We are located on the northern shore of the beautiful St. Johns River and close to Interstate 4. That makes Debary the perfect place to establish or relocate your business. Here in Debary, our city leaders work closely with local businesses to drive economic vitality and support intentional, smarter growth. Our city council members stay engaged in the community and are responsive to the needs of business and residents alike.
One of the most exciting things coming to Debary is our Main Street development. This development is an 18-acre master planned mixed-use business community built alongside our trail system, allowing for multimodal accessibility. It will house retail and residential tenants alike and is scheduled for groundbreaking in 2023. This site will become our community hub, where businesses, residents, and visitors can come together and celebrate our local community through farmers markets, community events, and shopping locally. Main Street will make Debary a destination. Conveniently located across the street from the northernmost Sunrail train station, it will be easily accessible to all, from train riders to bikers to local community members.
Take some time to experience Debary naturally, more than you imagine.
That was by far the sweetest video. Kids and cakes, you can't go wrong. I kind of went out of the agenda, and we're going to go back to Patty Rippey. Patty Rippey is another one of those people who just does everything down there at the city of South Daytona. Her title is officially Redevelopment Director, but Patty, the floor is yours.
Okay. All right. Are you seeing my screen? No.
We are seeing your screen, yes.
Okay, hold on. All right, here we go. So just a little bit about South Daytona. We are a small town, about 13,000 people. South Daytona is located on the Halifax River, and we are located in between Port Orange and Daytona Beach. We're a business-friendly government, and we're home to a large variety of healthy, locally owned businesses, small manufacturing operations, and retail businesses. So not a lot of the big chains. We have very close relationships with a lot of our businesses. We participate in a monthly Chamber of Commerce business visit to sort of, to retain businesses and make sure we know how they're feeling about city government. And let's see. We do have some incentive programs through the city of South Daytona. We've for a long time had a facade improvement grant for our community redevelopment area, and that of course is to assist with improvements to the exterior of the building, trying to bring existing buildings into kind of bring them into this century with, to our design standards. And last year we implemented 2 new incentive programs, a demolition grant program to help people that are looking for development opportunities to assist with demolishing older buildings, to bring in sort of a targeted business that we would like to see here in South Daytona. So we also implemented a targeted business program, in some ways similar to Port Orange's, but we're trying to attract businesses to our US 1 corridor, which is one of our main commercial corridors, and the vision for our corridor is to have it more walkable, alternative transportation, just really pedestrian friendly. So we're providing those incentives to help us reach those goals. As far as our permitting, we are again a smaller city. We're a little bit more flexible. Our permitting can sometimes be completed at the counter. Also in the development process, for instance, in the CRA, I would be the point person on any new construction projects, and I am able to be a bridge between the developer and utility providers to help reduce any challenges that would create a time problem for development. And I think that's really about it. If anybody has any questions, please, you can contact me at the number or email on the screen. Thank you.
All right, you heard it, everybody. She's the person to go to. She said so herself. Quickly, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to Chris Edwards. He is the Director of CRA and Economic Development for the City of New Smyrna Beach. And Chris, are you there? You want to set up your... Hold on a second.
Yes.
All right. Chris, are you there?
Yes, I am here. I'm so sorry I'm not video worthy today, I guess.
All right, we can see you. We can see your slide. You're going to go ahead and
Yes.
Speak just very quickly and then introduce. You have a video, I guess.
Yes, yes. So thank you so much, Katrina, and thank you to my colleagues at the Volusia Business Resources. It's a privilege to be here today. I think it's an exciting time for businesses in Volusia County and certainly Southeast Volusia and New Smyrna Beach. Our resources are extensive. We have a robust CRA grant program that we offer for-profits and nonprofits in our city. We also have the tax abatement. We were awarded the Brownfield Grant Program from the United States Environmental Protection Agency. And of course, like our other colleagues, we offer development review assistance virtually through Zoom. And that's something that we coordinate through our Development Services Department. We have over 2,500 businesses in our city. And so at this time, what we want to focus on in New Smyrna Beach is how we can encourage you to do business in the city and also elevate the vision of your business in the city. And so at this time, without further ado, we have a short clip on how to start your business in New Smyrna Beach.
the city of New Smyrna Beach, our small business community is beloved by residents for the charming, authentic feel it provides and by loyal visitors who keep coming back year after year. From an outsider's perspective, it can seem like new businesses just appear one day from thin air. But in reality, there are often long days of hard work and sacrifice that go into starting a new business. Today, we here at the city of New Smyrna Beach want to help demystify this process and maybe even inspire you to start your own. While any business plan is limited only by an entrepreneur's imagination, here are some general considerations to keep in mind when getting started. First, you'll want to scout a location to open your new business. While this may seem obvious at first, there are several considerations to keep in mind. The city of New Smyrna Beach is divided into 42 different zoning types, each with its own permitted land uses and unique requirements. While the majority of them apply to residential housing, here are those that apply to business. MU, or mixed-use zones, intermix business, professional, and multifamily residential uses, allowing residents to live where they work in a convenient, central location. Services here provide supportive relationships to each other, such as a bed and breakfast next to a sidewalk cafe. Both Canal Street and Flagler Avenue are examples of mixed-use districts. Finally, PUDs, or planned unit developments, provide for the flexible integration of high-quality commercial nodes, town centers, residential areas, and other uses that would otherwise not be permitted by city code. You can learn more about this process in our separate PUD video linked in the description. Zoning can also be used to incentivize desired development in certain areas. Here in the city of New Smyrna Beach, that includes our bed and breakfast overlay district, created to encourage historic preservation and restoration and promote small-scale lodging establishments. And our Arts Overlay District, which supports galleries, theaters, and nearby businesses by relaxing rules on parking, outdoor storage, special events, and the sale of alcoholic beverages for consumption on premises. If opening a restaurant, is the building already equipped to be one? Does it have the required equipment like a grease trap and exhaust hood already installed, or will new ones be necessary? How much of the property can be covered by an impervious surface, such as a paved parking lot? Speaking of which, how many parking spaces am I required to provide? And how many of them must be set aside for handicap use? Are the restrooms already ADA compliant, or will they have to be retrofitted? Once you're satisfied that you can develop the property in accordance with land development regulations, it's time to take the next step and schedule a free consultation with city staff, also known as a pre-application meeting. Here, you'll present your conceptual plan to and get feedback from representatives of the city's planning, engineering, building, and fire departments, as well as the Utilities Commission.
Hi, I'm Chris Edwards, the Director of CRA and Economic Development for the City of New Smyrna Beach. And as a product of a small business startup, I'm excited for you that you've taken that step and you're looking to invest here in New Smyrna Beach. Your idea is for your business. And so here, I want to let you know that there are 4 things that economic development focuses on here for the City of New Smyrna Beach: business startup, business recruitment, retention, and expansion. I can tell you a couple of things that we're looking for in the pre-application process with the city. We're looking for information regarding the level of capital investment that you're making, the amount of jobs that you're looking to create, and what your future plans for expansion might be. These are areas which we can help you strategically plan for and be successful here in New Smyrna Beach. So again, we are congratulating you for taking that step, and we look forward to working with you here in New Smyrna Beach.
And that's my presentation. Thank you so much. My contact information will be available as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chris. That was fantastic. Really appreciate that. We have run over our time, but if people just have a couple of more minutes to stay, what we can do is, first of all, I would like to refer you to VolusiaBusinessResources.com. We have an annual survey on there. That survey helps us to develop these programs, such as the website and any other programs that we are going to develop further on. This is year 1 of Volusia Business Resources, and we are constantly looking for feedback from our businesses and local startups, entrepreneurs, established businesses. It does not matter the growth, the stage that you're at. We really need your feedback. So go ahead and go to that website and take that survey. As soon as you open it, there'll be a little pop-up. It says take the survey. Click on that, and get started. It takes a little bit of time, but it really is a valuable resource, and we'll give you the feedback. You can also go to volusiabusinessresources.com, click on the news section, and find out the results from last year's survey and how it drove some of the programs we developed. All of my panelists, thank you so much. I don't think we're going to get to the question and answers at this point. What I would encourage the audience to do, please, 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 if you have a question, let us know who that question is directed to. Send that question to vbr@volusia.org. It's really easy. V as in Volusia, B as in boy, R as in Romeo, @volusia.org. We had a question yesterday regarding local sources that help guide minority-owned businesses that we weren't able to address due to technical issues. I just want to touch base on that question quickly. Those resources can be found on volusiabusinessresources.com by clicking on the resource directory on the top menu bar and by selecting the heading Minority and Women-Owned Businesses. Thank you for joining us for day 2 of Volusia Business Resources Week. Year 1, we'll be back tomorrow with a new group of panelists. Please don't forget to check out the website. I've said it a bunch of times, volusiabusinessresources.com. We will be posting all of the presentations and the videos there. You can look it up. Feedback is welcome, vbr@volusia.org. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope everybody is kind to you. Thank you. Thank you, panelists. You were amazing.